said, document things, bringing truth to the light. Paper trail strong, yeah, we reading it right. From the docket to the drop, every case, every scene. I'm your courtroom reporter with the facts in between, yeah. Document things, bringing truth to the light. Paper trail strong, yeah, we reading it right. From the docket to the drop, every case, every scene. I'm your courtroom reporter with the facts in between, yeah.
And we're back. Y'all come on in. Let's have a seat. We are here to get into some court updates. Now, this video is pertaining to Tory Lanez versus Megan the Stallion regarding Tory Lanez's file for protective order. This is Exhibit 2. And you're going to be familiar with this particular court document that I am getting ready to show. But before we actually get started with that, copyright disclaimer under Section 107, just simply saying that, hey, this is fair use. I am not a paralegal, I am not an attorney, and I am not a judge. I am simply saying that, hey, I know how to read. And without further ado, as I mentioned, this is a court document that you may be looking like, hey, I've seen this before. But for the sake of the exhibit, we're going to go ahead and read it again, okay? Now, this is plaintiff's motion, and by the plaintiff, that is MeganPete, for order to show cause why Caesar McDowell should not be sanctioned for a deposition misconduct and for re-deposition. Now, pursuant to Magistrate Judge Reed's direction by email to the parties in Caesar McDowell on August the 25th of 2025, plaintiff MeganPete moves for an order to show cause why Mr. McDowell should not be sanctioned for deposition misconduct and request a re-deposition under the court's inherent authority. So let's get into the preliminary statement. From the very first minute of his deposition, Mr. McDowell made clear he intended to obstruct. As he warned, this ain't going to go good. You know that, right? And he kept his word. Mr. McDowell responded, I don't remember, over 350 times. I don't know, about 170 times, and I don't recall, about 43 times, totaling over 550 evasive non-answers that made meaningful testimony impossible. Mr. McDowell's misconduct went far beyond feigned forgetfulness. On camera and under oath, Mr. McDowell rolled a cigarette filled with a substance resembling marijuana during his questioning, then smoked it during a break. He demanded painkillers, threatened to urinate in the deposition room, called plaintiff counsel AB, made inappropriate comments about her appearance, and walked out mid-questioning. His conduct shocked the conscience and made a mockery of this court's authority. In fact, after his deposition concluded, his own attorney agreed that he should sit for another deposition that would be supervised by the magistrate judge in this case. Because of his egregious behavior, the court should sanction Mr. McDowell. This case centers on the defendant allowing herself to be used to broadcast defamatory statements about Ms. Pete at the urging and behest of the man who shot her. The lawsuit arises from defendant's false claims that Ms. Pete lied when she testified that Daystar Peterson, the rapper known as Tory Lanez, shot her in July of 2020. Daystar Peterson is currently serving a 10-year prison sentence for shooting Ms. Pete. In an attempt to exonerate himself from prison, Daystar Peterson enlisted the defendant to spread these defamatory statements. Because Daystar Peterson was subject to anti-harassment orders, barring him, or bearing, however you want to say it, from making such statements about Ms. Pete himself, he uses intermediaries to communicate this information to defendant. Or intermediaries, however you want to say it. Anyway, so as y'all can see here, this is just little quotations. You can pause the screen, read over that. Or as always, I do and will always post the court document in the description box below. Okay, so we're just going to continue. One in term Madari is the deponent Caesar McDowell, a close friend of Daystar Peterson. Mr. McDowell is the founder and CEO of Unite the People, the organization that represented Daystar Peterson during his appeal. UTP also represented defendant for the first 6 months of this litigation and continues to represent Daystar Peterson in his appellate proceedings. The conflicts of interest among them are undeniable, as acknowledged by Daystar Peterson himself. Now, we're going to take a slight pause. Now, on my Twitter page, well, X page, formerly known as Twitter, go all the way down. You will see where on the actual court document that Megan Thee Stallion submitted to the California courts regarding her having a uh, restraining order, they did put in two prison calls from Daystar Peterson and Caesar McDowell, and it was a hyperlink on the actual court document. So if you would like to listen to it, it is on my Twitter page. Scroll all the way down to last year, you will see it. Or no, it was this year. You will actually see it, okay? But anyway, let's continue. Daystar Peterson sits on UTP's advisory board and has donated substantial funds to the organization, including $50,000 to pay legal fees for other clients. Plaintiff's counsel deposed Mr. McDowell on July 25th of 2025. His testimony is critical to proving how Daystar Peterson circumvents court orders. It is also necessary to demonstrate the scope of damages resulting from their campaign of harassment. And Ms. Pete sought the deposition to prove that UTP and Mr. McDowell used their relationship to funnel false information from the shooter, Daystar Peterson, through defendant into the public domain. Mr. McDowell knows that. He has every reason to be combative and uncooperative to protect not only Daystar Peterson, but himself. That's exactly what he did. And that's exactly why court supervision of his deposition is necessary. Discovery also shows that Mr. McDowell provides misinformation to defendant about Daystar Peterson's ongoing legal proceedings, which defendant parrots to defame Ms. Pete. UTP has made public statements on Daystar Peterson's behalf regarding this case and provides him updates about Mrs. Cooper's representation. Mr. McDowell is not a lawyer and is not licensed to practice law. As UTP's CEO, Mr. McDowell had a duty not to impede these proceedings and participate in his deposition in good faith. Instead, Mr. McDowell refused to answer most questions. In the rare instances he did respond, his testimony was evasive, implausible, and often contemptuous. So, as y'all can see here, Q means question, A means answer. So let's get into it, y'all. Question: as CEO, are you responsible for determining the overall vision and objectives of UTP? Answer: maybe. Question: maybe. Answer: yeah. Question: what does that mean? Answer: well, I'm not a dictator. Question: most of UTP's work involves post-conviction matters, correct? Answer: I don't remember. Question: you are the CEO of Unite the People. You don't know whether most of UTP's work involves post-conviction matters? Answer: I don't remember. Question: does a large amount of UTP's work involve post-conviction matters? Answer: yes. Question: UTP focus on helping prisoners with appeals and sentence reductions, correct? Answer: I don't remember. Question: so if we go to the judge in this case, answer: let's go. Question: who are you going to tell her? Well, who are you going to tell her has the responses to these questions since you don't know or you don't remember? Answer: I don't know. Let's do it. At one point, when asked to verify an Instagram post, Mr. McDowell mocked opposing counsel Question: do you recall making that post? Answer: I don't remember. Question: any reason to doubt these are your words? Answer: I would absolutely doubt that these are my words. Question: okay, well, you are welcome to pull out your Instagram and go to this post and compare it. Do you want to do that? If you don't believe me, we have time. We can do it on a break. Answer: we can do it all day. Question: yeah. Answer: hey, I have nothing to do today. Question: same. I'm so glad. Answer: you feel me? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You want to, he said, you want to do lunch after this? Question: actually, we ordered lunch, so yeah. Answer: did you? Question: yeah, yeah. Answer: I would not eat nothing from you people. All right. Mr. McDowell's obstruction is part of a coordinated effort by key third parties to prevent the court and jury from learning the truth about their defamation campaign against Ms. Pete. Just weeks before Mr. McDowell's deposition, the court held Daystar Peterson in contempt for deploying identical tactics, feigning ignorance, making inappropriate comments about counsel's appearance, and refusing to cooperate, and Livingston Allen, as y'all know, that's DJ Academics, the social media personality known as DJ Academics, who worked with defendant and received information from Messrs. Peterson and Mr. McDowell to spread false narratives about Miss Pete. Similarly, obstructed his deposition with evasive testimony and selective memory loss. All three men, Messrs. Peterson, McDowell, and Allen, used the same strategy of systematic evasion when discovery threatened to expose their cooperation. Y'all give me 1 second. Sorry, my Alexa went off. I was finna cuss her out. Excuse me. Okay, so I don't forgot where I
I'm not
was.
quite sure how to help you with that.
You hear her listening? They be listening. Anyway, let's continue. Now, where was I before I got interrupted? Okay, so right here. So Peterson and McDowell to spread false narratives about Miss Pete. Um, similarly, obstructed his deposition with evasive testimony and selective memory loss. All three men, Messrs. Peterson, McDowell, and Allen, used the same strategy to systematic evasion when discovery threatened to expose their coordination. Their synchronized obstruction reveals a coordinated effort to shield their defamation campaign from scrutiny and prevent Ms. Pete from obtaining evidence of the damages it caused. And in sanctions against Caesar McDowell and his discovery misconduct are warranted. Courts of justice are universally acknowledged to be vested by their very creation with power to impose silence, respect, and decorum in their presence in submission to their lawful mandates. And that is a quote from a different court case. These powers are governed not by rule or statute, but by control necessarily vested in courts to manage their own affairs, so as to achieve the orderly and expeditious deposition of causes. And that is a quote from another court case. And so we're just going to take a quick scroll. As y'all know, we've already went over and have read this particular court document. So I'm just going to glance to see if there's anything new. Pretty much, probably not. As y'all can see here, we're already at the end. So, again, this is something that we have read already, but I just wanted to make sure y'all see that this is Exhibit 2 that was put in. Now, there is a total of 6 exhibits that I do have. So, we're on Exhibit 2. So, look out for Exhibit 3 video. It will be right after this one. So y'all will see the ending title. Just click on video 3 and you'll be right there and you can read along right with me. And again, as I always say, I will have this in the description box below so that you can see the full court document in entirety. Now, like the video, share the video. It's free. I appreciate y'all. I have hit over 500 followers. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are so wonderful and so great. And as I always say, when you lead with integrity, you never have to worry about somebody questioning your loyalty or your intentions. Be out on the look for video exhibit 3. Take care.